You just crossed over into the female zone.
I always have the best things come to mind when I'm driving to the gym. And I've been kind of thinking about like how I'm single and like how I hate dating and I don't like going on dates, da 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 da. But at the same time, I'm always like, no, you could have a boyfriend if you wanted. It's just that the men that are asking you out are not the men that you want to date, whether it's visual attraction or just their personality. And then I was thinking about the kind of men that ask me out and like the kind of men that people try to set me up with. And they are never my type and we are never on the same level of attractiveness. And I think it's because girls always think they're hotter than guys and guys always think that they're hotter than girls. So with the way that I internally like view myself and externally view myself, I think I should be with a certain man that looks a certain way. But that man probably thinks I'm ugly because that man probably wants someone more attractive than him, and I might not be that. Basically what I'm trying to say is when you are like a standardly attractive woman, you're going to have mediocre men going after you because that's just how it balances out. Whereas like the medium attractive men that I go for are wanting those like beautiful jaw-dropping women because that's what they think they should be with. Does that make sense, or am I talking out of my ass?
Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
You know what, sister? This girl is going to give you some pointers. Going to give you some credit here because you did get some of that right when you said that you are going to date mediocre-looking men because you're mediocre-looking yourself. But there's some factors here that you kind of got wrong, and I think that it would be just for me to point them out. All right, first of all, when you said that women think they're hotter than men and men think they're hotter than women, no, that's not it, because you think that the attraction points are symmetrical. They're not. They're asymmetrical. Women usually think that they deserve a hot guy because they think they're hotter than what they really are. If you ask a woman to rate themselves from 1 to 10, a 4 would say she's a 7. A 7 would say she's a 10. Men tend to be a little bit more realistic. So that's one thing. Another thing, when you said that guys who are not very attractive will want to date more attractive women because they believe that's what they deserve, so they think they look hotter than what they do. Well, no. You see, men do not rate themselves by their looks per se. They actually rate themselves by other factors that make them attractive. Like, for example, if a guy is tall, he knows that women are attracted to that, apart from his looks. Or if he's got a good job, or he has a good vehicle, being financially well off, or has a very nice house. These are all factors that women find attractive, and men know that they're attractive. That's why they use them to get a higher caliber woman. But you know what? Not bad. I'll give you a C-. At least you're willing to learn more about it.
Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on.
Tell me what you think about this situation. My friend and I went out to the bar last weekend and we don't drink, so we really just wanted to be around people. I end up seeing a group of friends from my building that I live at because I live in downtown San Diego. And I met this new person and he was really cool. We started talking and he asked me for my number. My friend was kind of like egging it on, like, oh, you should just give me my number. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure. Come to find out that he is actually best friends with a guy that I sort of dated for about 2 months. At the end of the night, I was like, hey, I don't think that's a good idea because I went out with your friend, like bro code, you know? He's like, oh, he's not gonna mind, like I'm just gonna ask him. And I'm like, I don't think you should ask him, I just think you should respect the bro code. At night, he messaged me and said, hey, it was really nice to meet you. Love to take you out to dinner. I again said, hey, I don't think that's a good idea because I talked to your best friend and it wouldn't feel right doing that. And then he's like, I respect that, like I'll see you around. A few days later, he comes back and he's like, hey, by the way, I got clearance. So thought you should know that. And I was like, you're funny, but you didn't get clearance from me. I couldn't do that. And then he comes back and he's like, you do know everybody in this city has dated each other at one point. Oh, bro, I didn't know that. In that case, I'm gonna go on multiple dates with you, yes, because of that. And now I feel weird because I'm like, how did you ask my previous person that I talked to for permission to ask me out to dinner? And I'm just thinking like what their conversation was and what this guy could have said to him about me, even though I was like, no. So what do you think?
God, Karen, you are so stupid.
All right, what do you think? Okay, sister, I think that you're overcomplicating this. I mean, you're giving it way too much thought. Okay, first of all, maybe the guy talked to his best friend, maybe he didn't. It doesn't really matter. The point is, you're saying the bro code, this and that. You're making a lot of assumptions here as if you really understood the bro code or if you understood what is being said between these guys or whatnot. Because it could be as simple as the guy just told his buddy, hey man, I know you hit that already. I'm going to hit it. You got a problem with it? No. They understand that it's, it's maybe hidden and quit it for a while. That's it. But to be completely honest, what kind of code is there for who I cannot date? I mean, for the most part, two guys who are friends, they're just going to say, hey, you know what? Do whatever you want. It's usually women who get into the details of, well, you shouldn't date this guy because I dated him. Because women are the ones who are afraid of that because they're all in groupthink. They don't want to be kicked out of that group safety. For example, if a bunch of guys go out together and one guy sees this girl that's hitting on him, that's giving him the signal, and he's like, okay, I think I'm going to go to sleep with her tonight. He's not going to go ask his friends, hey, I need permission for you guys to go sleep with this girl. He's just going to say, hey guys, you guys have a good night. I'm going to go handle some business. Women? No. If you're out with a group of friends and a guy is hitting on one of you and you really like him, you ask permission for all your girlfriends. I don't know if I should, or you ask them to co-sign on it, endorse it some way. So in reality, sister, you got your wires crossed there. Why don't you act like an adult? Maybe that'll work better for you. Moving on.
I waited to have sex and the dick was trash. I waited to have sex and the dick was trash. I waited. I read the books. I was acting like a lady. I was thinking like a man. I was listening to the good Lord, to the good holy book. I was abstaining. I was maintaining. I was elevating. I was living in my feminine energy. I was keeping a lock on the gate. There wasn't a key could get into the lock. There was no, what's a key? What's a lock that could be opened by any key? Yeah, I waited, and I fell in love. And I did all the things. And then it's trash. Basura. Inconsolably, unteachably, unequivocally. Maybe I just been overly freaked out. I think that's what it is. This is why they tell y'all to wait till marriage. Because if I waited till marriage, oh my God, I'm bugger. If I waited till marriage, I wouldn't have even known what good sex was. I wouldn't have even known. If I waited till marriage, none of this would have happened. But unfortunately, they've been flipping and reversing it since the 1990s and 2000s. So now here we are. This is going in the drafts.
Sooner or later, the thirst always wins.
All right, hold up. You got me confused here, sister. You see, you followed Steve Harvey's books, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, and I don't know what the hell you were looking for because you found exactly what he is actually teaching. Steve Harvey's books are not for you to find the best D out there. Steve Harvey's books are designed for you to find love. Am I saying his books are the best ones? No, I am not. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about Simp Harvey that I don't like, but one thing I'll give him, he does give halfway good, decent advice to women to find love. So now you're complaining that you actually found love, which is a thing that most women want, but all of a sudden, because there wasn't good D attached to the love, OMG, what am I going to do now? I fell in love with some bad D. So hold up, what's your priority here, sister? Is your priority getting dick down the right way? Or is your priority to actually have your all-important, all-encompassing feelings to be fulfilled? Because it sounds to me like your feelings were fulfilled. You found love. Most women say that they want love. So something on your little list there, which is a lot further down, it's not that high up there, which would be absolutely outstanding D. Okay, you didn't get that. So what, you want the total package now? The guy's got to check off every box that you want? Outstanding D plus love plus a bunch of other things? Question, do you check off all his boxes? Are you some kind of supermodel or something like that? Is he looking at you and saying, damn, she got the butt, she got the boobs, she's rocking it? I don't think so. Guess what? It's called compromise. Because I'm pretty sure there's something about you that's trash too. Moving on.
If a guy asks you on a dating app, because I'm dating right now, and I'm using Hinge, essentially. I'm not using any other dating apps. I don't know. I just kind of like Hinge. But sometimes it's unhinged. And I guess a lot of guys are reporting that they've been being catfished. and want to FaceTime you before going on a date, which is super low effort. So I've kind of thought about it because this last time I went on a date with a guy and he wanted to FaceTime me first, and I was like, no, I'd rather meet in person. And he told me he was getting catfished, and he's had several times. I was like, oh, well, hopefully you were nice to those girls who were trying to find love. Anyways, I think next time if some guy asks me to FaceTime him first to prove that I'm real, so that because it's so performative, right? Like, the guys want to know, like, if you have double D's or 20-inch waist, and want to make sure that you are the one and worth their time. Well, guess what, ladies? You need to buckle up, because if somebody asks you, hey, I need to FaceTime me first to see if you're real, maybe you can be like, I need to see bank statements to see if your bank account is good enough for me first before I go and waste my time. We need to start being ruthless. Like, I'm so over this. Like, I wasted my time. And then on the date, the guy had the audacity to check me out to make sure that I looked like my photos. Okay? So it already starts off bad if they want to FaceTime you to make sure that you're real. Okay? If you ain't seen bank statements, do not go on a date with this guy. Okay? That's a big red flag. So, gotta be ruthless out here, ladies. We're trying to find our Prince Charming, and that is... Prince Charming wants to make sure you're real. Prince Charming goes after the woman. So, next. Have a good day.
Prince Charming goes after the woman, said by the woman who's single and doesn't have a prince at all. Seriously, you're saying that if he has the audacity to check you out, to actually want to FaceTime to make sure that he's not being catfished, that's a red flag. And your advice is to prove up front that you're a gold digger? I want bank statements. Oh, so you are a gold digger. Well, you know what? You just proved it to him. Because if you are not willing to do something as simple as, hey, let's FaceTime so I can show you that I'm real, you can show me that you're real, we can go from here on out. If that's a red flag, sister, you shouldn't be dating. Sweetie, guess what? The guys have the right to defend themselves. The guy has the right to find out if he's actually dating a real woman. I mean, how is avoiding being catfished a red flag? It's not. It's just you being completely insecure. Here's a question, sister. What does it cost you to actually do a FaceTime with the guy? OMG, he's going to check me out to see if I'm real. That is so taxing. That is so terrible. That is so horrible on his part. Red flag on you for actually trying to find out I'm real. You should take my word for it, even though you've been catfished a whole bunch of times. Sweetie, let me just say this right now. Your idea of asking for a back statement up front, I'm going to agree with you on that one. Not for your sake, but for the guy's sake. So he can figure out early that he's basically dealing with a 3 or 4 with a price tag.
Now that's a lot of damage!
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund. Or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.